What's up, all? This is a special Jagger mailbag. This is a video mailbag we are doing. A little experiment, if you will. Why are we doing this? I don't really know. The real actual answer is I wasn't feeling great this week, or today actually. And I hurt my back pretty bad earlier in the week and worked through it. But it's getting a little better, but I didn't really want to sit in a chair all night kind of banging this all out. So I figured, I have like 3 questions, and maybe I'll just do like a 5-minute video response to them and see how it goes. And then the questions came rolling in, and now I have like 9 or something to answer, and I was kind of rethinking this whole thing, but it was too late. I was too far into it. Comb my hair. That's it. If I comb my hair, I'm doing something. And so off we go. This is the first ever video mailbag, a Jagger cast, if you will. I assume this will be on Rockfin. I believe it's free. The InterMat stuff, a lot of it is free, I believe, to watch. It better be, because Jagger's a free guy. Free Jagger. Always. I charge you for nothing. I will one day, maybe. Anyway, I was going to start off with talking about the ref situation with the deducted team point, whatever was going on there. Not going to bother really getting into that because we got a lot of other stuff to talk about. It's a tough call. It's the right call, for better or for worse. I know, following the rules or being a stickler for the rule, maybe, you call me a boomer or something. I'm not a boomer. My parents were barely boomers. They're like the tail end of it. So I'm not when I'm old, but I'm not a boomer. I'm all Gen X or D-Generation X, if you will. So it's a tough situation for everybody. These things happen every year. What can you do? It's not the end of the world. Anyway, on to the questions, because that is why you are here. Stephen Ruff, or perhaps it's Stephen Roof. Either way, it's a cool name. RUHF asks, why does the Olympic redshirt still exist? With only 6 weights, only a few college athletes have a realistic shot. Plus, the advent of RTCs allow a dual track. Having 6th or 7th year athletes compete with 18-year-olds seems unfair. First off, Stephen, you're fooling yourself if you think college freshmen are 18 years old. They're not. They're usually sophomores in high school at this point. And for better or for worse, that's really what's going on. So they're like 20 years old in college, and they're more than ready anyway. So I don't think it's unfair. It seems like the young guys are kind of doing better than the extra year guys. To me, not all of them, but some. But no, the Olympic red shirt's fine. It's good. I mean, the Olympics is the thing. It's the end-all, be-all of all things. And if somebody has a chance to make a team or win, it's nice that they give them a full opportunity to do that and train with that. Especially with the weight thing, with the 6-weight thing, because you could be going a weight, dropping a weight that it's tough to get to for you, and you're not going to do it during the college season. So at least you're, Dave Fix got to go down to 125. That's not easy. That's why they talked about maybe that he was going to do it now. I mean, the trials are right after the season ends, so it's tough. And you can't be going through a college grind and then just like switch it up and I'm just going to make the Olympic team. I mean, you could. Somebody might. And not many people take the Olympic red shirt anyway. It's not that big of a deal. The only real one I think about right now is Lirez doing it right now. And he's got a shot of making the team. I mean, he's really good. And getting just worlds better, I'm sure, right now with the year off. So the Olympic red shirt's fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's crazy now because you could throw it in with all the other extra years and stuff right now and just keep pulling. Dayton Fix could have taken an Olympic red shirt this year. Again, I think. And even he didn't do that because it's like, it just means I got to be around longer, and he's been around a while. So, yeah, it's not bad. I'm fine with it. It's a little weird right now because there's so many extra years, but not many people are doing it, and especially for the Ivy guys who don't get a regular red shirt. I mean, Yanni saved them getting 4 titles. I mean, if he doesn't do that in 2020, that's a year of eligibility, and that's his 3rd year. He only gets 1 more left instead he was able to get 2. I mean, that worked out for him. So, it helped. Okay. Indiana Matt, the bozo that he is going to ask, what is most disappointing? Not being nominated for a Stalemate Award and a National Wrestling Media Association Award, the Mets offseason, or Rutgers going 0-2 on Jagger night. All right, a couple corrections here. I was nominated for a Stammates Award, or at least I got votes on the free for all nomination. I did get a couple votes, so you're wrong there. Technically, I was nominated, and I didn't even know it until the awards came out. So Rutgers, they're not 0-2 on Jagger night. They're 0-1 on Jagger night this year. Last Saturday against Minnesota was not promoted as a Jagger night. Wasn't even the night, it was the day. It was 1 in the afternoon. I don't know what you guys do out there in Hoosier country, but we don't call 1 o'clock in the afternoon a night. So it doesn't really count. If they'd have won, yeah, okay, maybe it would have been Jagger night. But, they didn't. It was a tough one. But, so are they allegedly 0-2 on Jagger night? Yes. But they are 2-0 on Indiana night with victories over Indiana and Purdue. And it was the same weekend, and it was Indiana here, and then they went out to Purdue, and they beat the crap out of them. So why don't you stick it, buddy? The answer clearly is the Mets offseason. They've done nothing. They've brought in barely anybody. Sean Manaea. Yay. So it might be a little tough, again, with the Mets this year, but I'm used to that. They did get rid of Daniel Vogelback, which means you can no longer make Vogelback jokes to me, and I hope he signs with your precious Chicago Cubs. So, next question. My man Rhino, the doctor. I was going to have Rhino call in, but it got a little tricky, and I realized I had a lot to do, and trying to do a live phone call on this might not have been easy. But anyway, Rhino asks, in the imaginary world where college wrestling has a Royal Rumble, to determine who main events nationals, who would you book to win? Personally vote Trent Hidlay to start his path to finish the story. I would probably also vote Trent Hidlay. I also actually want to see Trent Hidlay in a real Royal Rumble. I feel like he'd be the guy who comes in when they build it up with like 15 guys in there, and then here comes this monster, and he gets like 10 eliminations in a minute. That'd be Trent. He'd raise the roof. It'd be great. And yeah, everyone knows I'm a big Hidlay mark. Love the Hidlay family. Trent, Hayden, Heath, big Heath guy. Older brother Heath guy loves football. Mark Hidlay, the dad. I love the Hidlays. And I really, if I had to pick one thing this year to ask for that I can get my wish, it would be Trent Hidlay winning the national title, because I just think he deserves it. I just think he's a great wrestler, great person, and nobody deserves it more. And that's nothing against Aaron Brooks. Aaron Brooks is fantastic. I love him. And, it's going for 4. I like to see, like, I got upset when Spencer Lee lost last year for. I hate to see a guy get that close and lose it. So it's like tough to see with Aaron Brooks, but you got 3, you got a million of them. Fine. Let's get Trent Hidlay one. Next question. The Burger King of Kings and the Burger King of Questions, because he asked a ton of questions, and I personally love it. What college wrestler got you into wrestling? I've told this story before, but I will tell it again. The answer is Nick Serano. I didn't follow college wrestling. I never did really until his first year. I always followed Jersey and really the local scene, probably until about 2004, and then I took like a decade off basically, and got back into it when he happened to be in college, because he was in the paper every day, and I started following along again and started knowing a lot of guys. From that era, from 2014, 2015. I knew Ashnell when he won his 4. I was watching then. The good South Plainfield teams, 2012, 2011. They were really good. But college wasn't until like December of 2016, and I was just kind of hanging around probably, and I was like, I wonder what Serano's doing in college. I wonder if he's starting or what's going on. I go look it up real quick. That's how I actually found InterMat, because I just Googled Nick Serano thing. The first thing that came up was InterMat rankings. And I was like, InterMat? All right. And I scrolled through a whole bunch of like obituaries and stuff, and then found the rankings. And I saw he was like 7-0. And I was like, oh, he's doing good. He's starting. Look at this freaking guy. And so I started watching, and then it was the winter break though. Nothing was really happening. They were having the Southern Scuffle, but I think they had weather trouble and they didn't go to that, so I had to wait. But I started following him. I started watching whatever was on TV. I actually didn't, and I really wasn't planning on watching anything else. Gonna watch that, see how he did, be gone, and that was it. And it wasn't until the Oklahoma State Penn State duel that I ordered Flow. It was like $17 for a month back then. You could buy monthly. It was like $17, and I got it for that. Obviously, we all know what happened there. The duel, it didn't work. Nobody really got to see it, and that was that. And I was like, you got to be. I think my first tweet about wrestling actually was to the Flow account about how something didn't work. It was fitting. That's how it starts. Probably how my life's gonna end too. He's gonna have a heart attack when they tweet Anyway, when that failed, they did a thing where they give you your money back or 2 free months. And I was like, I'll just take the 2 free months and see what else they got on there. Because that's what they had, other sports and stuff. And I still had like the Dapper Dan was in the next month and stuff. So it's like, all right, there's some stuff to watch. I'll see that. And then it was the U.S. Open was involved. And I really haven't even really watched much freestyle. I have no idea what was going on there. I still have no idea what's going on there. But I watched that, and I just started looking up guys and seeing all these guys with the history they had, teammates, and I just thought it was pretty cool. And it just stuck. And now all these years later, nearly 7 years later, here I am sitting here. I'd still be sitting here if it wasn't for that. I'd just be talking to myself, which technically I'm still doing right now until I send this out. The decision I don't know if I'm going to make yet. So that's that. If it wasn't for that flow feed fail, there'd be no Jagger. Thank you guys. All right, next question. Sabalot Brands. What is the best way to distinguish? I am not distinguished. That's why I can't say distinguished. Real Kale from Hologram Kale. He does have this conspiracy theory that Kale Sanderson is a hologram. And I admit I bought into it too because, the signs are there. But Real Kale won 159 matches in a row in college and sits stoically in the corner while these guys win every match, but he doesn't move them off. National title. Not championship. Same relevant for bow and arrow guys. That's it. Which it kills me. It's just like he's so bored of it. I think he had a quote once. He said wrestling is boring. Like he knows. Like he's seen so much winning. He's like, it's like playing Mario Kart 1 on like the easy level over and over and over sometimes with him. But yeah, that's how you distinguish them. In the fake Kale, the hologram, he's usually hanging out with hologram Tupac and hologram Elvis and Michael Jackson. And maybe even hologram Kennedy. I don't know. Okay. Rachel Gallardo, the SoCon correspondent herself, fired up for App State and Campbell. Asked, what's your favorite football wrestling snack? I don't know. Whatever snacks we have usually. It varies. It could be for football, it could be wrestling, it could be watching Downton Abbey have snacks, or just, whatever. Archer. I've been watching a lot of Archer lately. Archer's a tough watch. No time for snacks because he's always yelling. But obviously a big chips and dip guy. I like French onion dip. That's good. The best chips are probably kettle cooked ones because they're rock solid and you dip them in. They're good. They don't break. They're made of adamantium. They're just like take a big scoop and eat it. So big on that. Big on meat and cheese trays stuff. Just the meat tree. I don't eat the cheese. I'm not a big cheese guy. My lady, she loves cheese. She takes up. Dog loves cheese too. And she scoops that up too, the freaking dog. I thought we took her to the vet when she got a checkup. And they said she was 16 pounds. They said she was overweight. Kind of give her too much cheese, I guess. Whatever. She was living in her kennel, man. I'm giving her cheese. What do you want from us? Yeah, definitely a big chips and dip meat and cheese guy. I like making pigs in a blanket too. Anything that's really unhealthy is for me. So, a big on the unhealthy things. Unfortunately, it's going to be the death of me. Next question. Lindsay Beasley following up Rachel. Asking, do you relate more to Jason Kelce or Travis Kelce? And are you a Swiftie? Lindsay, I'm a Raiders fan. And that means my two least favorite teams are the Chiefs and the Broncos. And currently it's the Chiefs, and it's been like that for a while, and it's going to stay that way. So I kind of hate the Chiefs, which in turn makes me fully hate Travis Kelce. And I've been hating him for years because he destroys the Raiders. I just can't take him. And then I picked him in fantasy one year, and it was like the one year he didn't do anything. I was like, yeah, this figures. Where are you now, So I prefer not to relate to any of them, and I do like Jason too, but he's brothers with Travis, and that's tough, But I probably relate to him because I do have a propensity for taking my shirt off after probably too many beers. I have done that. I've jumped off of decks. I hurt my ankle once doing a whole stunt off a deck. It was pretty cool, but I kind of blew up my ankle. Yeah, I've done some dumb things on the beer, so I don't really drink anymore. Not like malicious things, but like, I like to party. What do you want me to tell you? Am I a Swiftie? I was, until she started hanging out with Travis Kelce. But no, I'm a country Swiftie. I was big on her in country. I liked her country stuff for years. Not really big on her. I don't really know her pop stuff that well, actually. I don't listen to that. So I couldn't really name you many songs over the last bunch of years. I like Blank Space. I think that's a good song. And I write your name. I like Love Story. That's a good song. I'll be singing that like when I'm walking the dog and stuff. But come on, I must look ridiculous doing that. I must probably look ridiculous right now too, but not as bad when I'm singing Taylor Swift. I'm walking the dog. So yeah, it's a tough call. That's the Niners. I don't even like the Niners, but I got to cheer for the Niners because I can't live in a world where the Chiefs win the Super Bowl every single year. But happy for you though, Taylor Swift, because she needs more accolades. Rage Against the Machine, who I believe is the Sasha portion of the Archaic Wrestling podcast, which is a pretty fun listen if you got the time. I don't know where you can find it. Just Google it. Asks, is the Apple Vision Pro the next advancement in Jagger Vision? Or is it basically a boondoggle trying to sell a solution for a problem Jagger already solved? I had to Google this thing to see what it was, and it's just sickening. Glasses. It's basically what I expected, which we're all just going to basically be human iPhones, that we're going to have apps in front of our face that we can swipe away and do that. We're just going to become droids, and it's really terrible. So no, I hate it. I'll stick to what I do, which is multiple screens and all this stuff. I don't need a stupid headset walking around like I'm the Terminator here. I'm not the Terminator. Far from it. I'm like the initial creation of the Terminator, and they were like, "This is what we got," and they're like, "That one sucks. Make another one." And then they made Arnold. So no, these things are getting ridiculous. The world is shutting themselves off from society, and now we're wearing goggles where the apps can pop up in front of our face, and I don't like it. Make it stop. All right. We're getting near 20 minutes, which is about as far as I wanted to go. It's a quick 20 minutes. It goes quick when you're doing this. Where's work 20? Work 20 minutes is like 3 hours. My man Mike Abramitis from New Jersey, my fellow North Jersey guy, asks, how popular would MMA be at the college level? Would it surpass wrestling, or would it surpass baseball? Throw notes away because I'm done with that. I've never even thought about that. I have no idea. I am not an MMA guy. I can't stand MMA. I don't know. Because of the wrestling following, I get a lot of MMA stuff, and I know a lot of people who are big fans of it. And talk about it and watch it. I can't stand it. It's not the fighting. I'm fine with that. It's just, I feel like every guy is a jerk. It's like once you're in it, you're like, I have to be a jerk now. I'm a fighter. I have to be a jerk. I have to act like a jerk and just generally be a jerk. And even the fans, all they do is talk about how everybody stinks. Somebody's got to be good, right? I love that it's the 5'5" nothing kid sitting at home in his gray sweatpants and gray sweatshirt, talking about how some uber athlete, massively in shape, is not good at what he does. Yeah, keep that up. But yeah, I don't know how it would be in college. It would probably be more popular than wrestling. Baseball, I know baseball is weird. I know it's not like over. People love college baseball. It's got its fan base. I know that. It would probably surpass wrestling, unfortunately, because it's just, what are you going to do? Obviously, MMA is more popular anyway. They try to build on that fan base. I don't know if it's working. I know they got the UFC Fight Pass thing. Hopefully, some more MMA fans are tuning in and seeing, what is essentially MMA without choking and punching. And or sometimes with choking and punching, depending on what Soldier Salute tournament you're watching. That's it. 19 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks, everybody, for the questions. I hope you enjoy this. It's kind of fun doing it. It wasn't that bad. I thought it was going to be harder. I don't know if I'll do any more of these. I'll go back to writing because I know people like to sit and read in the morning, so do I. I have to listen. But yeah, thanks a lot. Have a good weekend. There's a whole bunch of, the season's almost over. Or these regular seasons, like 4 weeks left. It goes fast. It's like, it takes forever, but it goes fast at the same time. It's very weird. You think it just went quick, like it just started, but then you think back at the beginning of November, it was a while ago. That was a long time ago. But once you hit January, once the dual meet weekends start, boom, boom, you just knock them off, and you just waiting the cold out there in the week, and then weekend comes, you watch duels, and the next it's all over. So Speaking of all over, so is this. Have a good weekend, all.